I want people to understand that every animal has an animal soul, which gives it life, and animals only care about themselves and their family. Animals care about themselves and their family. They don't care about anybody else, any other animals from any other family. So this is what the animal soul does. That's what an animal soul does. It's selfish. It only cares about itself and its family. But then human beings also have a godly soul. And only people who keep the Noahide laws have this soul. People who don't keep the Noahide laws do not have this soul. They only care about themselves and their family. But people who keep the Noahide laws have another soul, a godly soul. And this soul wants to sacrifice for God, wants to sacrifice for other people, people that are not in their family, for regular people, children, animals, everybody. The godly soul wants to sacrifice itself. It wants to burn, but not be burned out. The godly soul is like a flame. It burns, but does not hurt you. It burns and it doesn't burn out. So in an animal, they're at peace because they only have one soul. So they care about themselves, their family, and that's it. A human being is always in a conflict. We're always fighting. The godly soul is represented by Jacob. The animal souls represented by Esau. And like we have these two twins in the stomach of their mother, Rebecca, they were fighting. This one wanted to go to a church, wanted to go to idols. This one wanted to go to learn Torah. And they would fight in the womb. And that's what we have inside of each one of us. We have this fight, this conflict. The godly soul wants to go to sacrifice for God. The animal soul just wants to take care of itself and take care of his family. And these two urges are fighting with each other all the time, all the time. Unless a righteous person like David or Moses, they do acts and thought and speech with their godly soul so much that they turn the animal soul into a godly soul. So then they only have one again. They have a godly soul and an even stronger godly soul. Because when you turn the animal soul into a godly soul, it's even stronger than the godly soul. So a righteous person has completely corrected himself. He acts only with the sacrifice to God. He never acts just for himself, never acts just for his own family. He acts when a thought comes into your head to do something that's wrong or animalistic, like an animal, something selfish, they push that thought away. A righteous person pushes that thought away every single minute. He pushes it away. The thought comes back. I want you to do something selfish. The righteous person pushes it away, pushes it away, pushes it away, pushes it away. Keeps doing that. So eventually, the animal soul just gives up. The animal soul is sending all these messages: be selfish, be selfish, be selfish. Go to party, go to drink, take drugs, and the righteous person just fights it off. He just rejects it, rejects it, rejects it, rejects it, rejects it. Eventually, if you keep knocking on someone's door for an hour and they don't answer, what happens? You give up. You stop knocking. If you keep knocking for a whole hour and nobody answers, you give up. So at a certain point, the righteous person's animal soul gives up and says, you know what? I'm going to join his team. I'm going to become a godly soul myself. So let's just explain. The animal has one soul, the animal soul. The human being has a godly soul and an animal soul, and they fight with each other. A righteous person, a tzaddik, a righteous person, has one godly soul and one animal soul, which is turned into a godly soul. So he has two godly souls. And this animal soul turned into a godly soul is more powerful than the original godly soul. That's how it works. And when we have the class tomorrow, we'll talk about heaven and hell. We got to also understand, about heaven and hell. It doesn't talk so much about heaven and hell in the Bible. Not so much. It's mostly in the rabbi's commentary. Okay, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Have a good day.